Dear students, welcome to our next video lecture of chapter 3. Students, in the last lecture, we had discussed the first formula and its connecting sums, especially the short sums. B is equal to sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon sigma x minus x bar the whole square. Now students, in today's lecture, we will demonstrate the sums involving shortcut method formula. And that shortcut method formula, students, we have already discussed. Once again, I am discussing b by x is equal to n sigma u minus sigma u into sigma v upon n sigma u square minus sigma u the whole square into cy upon cx. If I call this bracket as b vu, then this is b vu into cy upon cx. This formula, students, today we are going to use in our sums. Try to understand. This is shortcut method formula, students. As I have explained in the last lecture, regression coefficient b, students, is only independent of change of origin but not scale. We cannot divide, but still if we divide, we have to counter it or counterfeit it by multiplying by cy upon cx. So remember, u is equal to x minus a upon cx and v is equal to y minus b upon cy. So the division element for u or the number is cx and division number for v is say cy. Now students, I am using this particular, you can say, formula for 3 to 4 short sums. So pay attention. First of all, I am doing MCQ 14 of section A. Students, I am doing MCQ 14 of section A. U is equal to x minus 15 upon 10. MCQ 14 U is equal to x minus 15 upon 10. And V is equal to y minus 15 upon 2. And byx is given as 7.5. Okay, students. So check the given data. If I compare this with the formula, this is cx and this is cy. U is equal to x minus a upon cx, v is equal to y minus b upon cy. So division number for u is cx and division number for v, students, is cy. So this we have already demonstrated, students. Now apply this formula. So b by x is equal to b vu into cy upon cx. b vu we have to find. Cy is 2 and cx is 10. 2 ones are 2, 5s are. So finally b vu is equal to 7.5 into 5. 5 5s are 25. 35 plus 2. So the answer is 37.5. So students, the correct option is C. So what we have done, students, then I have applied the shortcut method formula. Once again, I am revising the concept of shortcut method formula. For that, remember, regression coefficient B is independent of change of origin but not scale. Scale means we are not authorized to divide. Still, if we want to divide in mathematics, we can compensate it by multiplication. That is why we are multiplying by cy upon cx. So students, the most important one was MCQ 14. Now students, I am doing MCQ 13. If the regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to 30 minus 1.5 x, what is the value of y bar if x bar is equal to 10? Okay students, now this formula I am keeping for the time being. Now all of you know students the formula of A. Students, the formula of A is nothing but y bar minus bx bar. Regression line is given as 30 minus 1.5 x. So if I compare this with A plus bx, A will turn out to be 30. So 30 is equal to, now y bar we have to find out, b is minus 1.5. So minus minus becomes plus and x bar is 10. So 1.5 into 10 will give us 15. So y bar is equal to students 30 minus 15. So the answer is how much? 15. This was not a formula to find b students, or this is means this was not a sum indirectly to find b. It was sum to be, you can say, find x bar or y bar on the basis of A. It is not that always we can be asked only y bar students. You can be also asked x bar. So whenever out of two mean x bar and y bar, one of the means are to be found out, use the formula of A. A is equal to y bar minus bx bar. Now students, having used this, last lecture section B, I have taught you questions 11, 12 and 13. Now students, section C, we are doing questions 2 and 3. Section C students, first of all we are doing questions 2 and 3, and then last we will do the question 10th of section C in order. Now question 2, the fitted regression line of y on x is given, and one of the observation used in the fitting of regression line is 6, 17. Find the error in estimation in estimating y students for x is equal to 6. So one of the pair was given or is given as 6, 17. Now this is again a sum based on error in estimation. Now see students, this all formulas we have done. So section C, question 2, the regression line is y cap is equal to 23.2 minus 1.2x. So from this I can write A is equal to 23.2 and B is equal to minus 1.2. Now one of the observation was 6, 17. 6, 17. So when x is 6, the estimate of y will be how much? 1.2 into 6, 12, 6 are 72. So 23.2 minus this. So this is how much? 60. Now students, the estimated value of y has turned out to be 16 and exact value of y is 17. So error in estimation is y minus y cap. So the exact value is 17, estimated value is 16. So the error term E is equal to 1. This is how students we can use the formula for error in estimation. E is equal to yi minus yi cap. From the regression line, the estimated value for x is equal to 6 has come out to be 16, while the exact value is 6 and 17. Exact value 17, estimated value 16. The difference between 17 and 16 is 1. So the error in estimation is students 1. Now third sum, if x bar is 30, y bar is 20 and b is equal to 0.6, find the intercept of regression line. Now I told you in coordinate geometry, in the regression line y cap is equal to a plus bx. A is called intercept and b is called regression coefficient. So whenever students you are told to find intercept, it is nothing but you can say the value of constant a, and the formula of a is nothing but y bar minus bx bar. So I use the formula A is equal to y bar minus bx bar. So 20 minus b is 0.6 and x bar is 30. So this will be 20 minus 18. So the answer is 2. So the value, students, of constant A is 2. This is very simple. It is asked in board exam, students, for 1 mark. So one has to be very cautious in understanding and interpreting the applications. So A is called intercept in the regression line and B is called the regression coefficient. So students, whenever we are told to find intercept, it means A. Now students, we are doing the tensum. B by x is given as 0.75, u is equal to 6 into x minus 20 and v is equal to 2 into y minus 15 for the data in the study of a regression line. Then find the value of BVU. So again, we are coming to the application of shortcut method formula. So let us collect the data very carefully. B by x is 0.75. Then u is equal to 6 into x minus 20 and v is equal to 2 into y minus 15. Now students, u is equal to x minus a upon cx and v is equal to y minus b upon cy. So how to get cx and cy is very important. You can check. 6 is in multiplication, but if I shift it to the denominator, I can write this as x minus 20 divided by 1 upon 6, and this can be written as pi minus 15 divided by 1 by 2. So this becomes cx and this becomes cy. Always students, cx and cy are located in the denominator. So when you shift a value from numerator to denominator, you have to write it as a reciprocal. So reciprocal of 6 is 1 by 6 and reciprocal of 2 is 1 by 2. Now students, I am applying the same formula. B by x is equal to BVU into cy upon cx. So B by x is given as 0.75 is equal to BVU. Okay, let me write, I think, a little bit above. Students, for the time being, I am erasing this part of the formula. Now all of you have understood, so I am keeping only this much as a formula. That B by x is equal to BVU into cy upon cx. Now using this formula, B by x is 0.75 is equal to BVU. Cy is how much? 1 by 2. And Cx is 1 by 6. So 1 by 2 upon 1 by 6 is 6 by 2. And 6 by 2 is nothing but 3. So I am bringing 3 on the left hand side. So this will be 0.75 upon 3 and that is 0.25. So students, the answer of BVU is how much? 0.25. Very important students, if it is 6 into x minus 20, you carefully check 6 I have shifted to the denominator and written 1 by 6. Here it was 2 into y minus 15. 2 I have shifted from numerator to denominator, so I have written it as 1 by 2. Now similar sums are there students in section D also. Question number 12. Question number 12 we are doing, and that question number 12 students has 3 parts. So let us focus on the basic given data and then we will complete the question. So B by x is 0.8, then find the value of BVU for the following u and v. Okay, so every time we are given students u and v. Let me erase this also. Again, we will write it, students. Now see, the first part is of the sum. Question 12. 1. U is equal to x minus 105 and v is equal to y minus 90. Nothing means here we have 1. Nothing in the denominator means 1. This is cx, this is cy. Byx is equal to bvu into cy upon cx. Byx is 0.8 is equal to bvu into 1 upon 1. Therefore the answer is bvu is equal to 0.8. So this is what, students, we have to apply as far as concept is that if nothing is there in the division, then understand that cx and cy are 1. Now the second part of the sum, u is equal to, keeping this formula as it is, x minus, let us check what are the values given in part 2. U is equal to x minus 1400 upon, how much is given? 100. So this becomes cx, and v is equal to y minus 750 divided by 50. This becomes cy. U is equal to x minus 1400 divided by 100. So cx is 100 and cy is 50. Applying the formula, 0.8 is equal to bvu into 50 upon 100. 51s are 52s are. So bvu is equal to 0.8 into 2, 1.6. Students, this part of the question or this sum has been repeatedly asked in section C for 2 marks. At a time they will give only 2 parts, but try to understand, students, the application of shortcut method formula. Byx is equal to bvu into cy upon cx. That formula, students, we have applied. Now the third part. Students, check in the third part again the values are in multiplication. Now you know we have done this sum. If I bring 10 in multiplication to division, then u is written as x minus 4.6 upon 1 by 10 and v is equal to y minus 75. Nothing means upon 1. So this will become cy. This is cx, sorry. So applying the formula, 0.8 is equal to bvu into 1 divided by 1 by 10. So this becomes 10. So bvu is equal to 0.8 divided by 10. So the answer is 0.08. 1 upon 1 by 10 is nothing but, students, 10. So 0.8 divided by 10 gives us 0.08. So this is how, students, we have applied the shortcut method formula. Now let us apply again one more question using the shortcut method formula. Question number 11. In usual notations, n is 7, sigma u is equal to 2, sigma v is 25, sigma u square is 160 and sigma u is 409. Obtain the regression coefficient of a regression line of y on x, students. Regression coefficient means b, and here we have to find byx is equal to bvu into cy upon cx, and using that we are not given what are the values of cy and cx, so we consider those values default by 1. So students, here Question number 11. The given data is n is equal to 7 sigma u sigma v. Sigma u is 2, sigma v is 25, sigma u square is 160, and students, sigma uv is given as 409. So I use the formula byx is equal to bvu into cy upon cx. Mind you, when this is not specified, we consider cy and cx as 1. So the formula is n sigma uv minus sigma u into sigma v upon n sigma u square minus sigma u the whole square. 7 into 409 minus 2 into 25 upon 7 into 160 minus 2 square. Simplify, that is your answer. So students, if we are not given cy upon cx, then this concept tells that we have to use this formula by taking cy and cx as 1. 1 upon 1 is 1, so the answer won't change. So students, we have applied the shortcut method formula. And reiterating the revision of shortcut method formula, students, regression coefficient b is only independent of change of origin but not scale. Not scale transformation means we cannot divide. Still, if we divide, we compensate by multiplying by cy by cx. So I have explained this 5 times, students. Now you should easily memorize. Now students, I am discussing section D, question 1. Explain the statement. This is a theoretical question. Try to understand. There is a cause-effect relationship between two variables by giving a suitable example, and also define independent variable and dependent variable. Recall students, in the theory in the very first lecture we told that correlation is the basis to study regression. So if I want to give an example for cause-effect relationship, the best example which I have given in correlation, x is equal to study hours and y is equal to percentage of marks. So as your study hours changes, varies, correspondingly there is a change in percentage of marks. So here we can say that students, the variables x and y vary due to cause and effect. Now also define independent and dependent variable. In the study of regression, the cause variable is defined as independent variable denoted by x. As per our example, x is study hours, then study hours is always x. In the study of regression, the effect variable is dependent variable, you can say denoted by y. As per our example, students, percentage of marks is your dependent variable. Then you can check in section D only, question 2. Explain the method of scatter diagram for fitting a line of regression and state its limitation. We have already discussed this. Again I am discussing, students, for your understanding, that suppose the given ordered pairs of bivariate data x and y are x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 up to xn, y. Point number 2, we take variable x on x-axis, variable y on y-axis with an appropriate scale. Point number 3, we plot the given ordered pairs as per the scale and draw a line. Line is drawn, point number 4, line is drawn in such a way that maximum number of points are on the line or nearby the line. So this is the scatter diagram method of obtaining regression line. Then state its limitation. As there is no definite rule, as there is no definite formula, as there is no definite algorithm to draw the line, the regression line drawn on the scatter diagram, students, may vary from person to person. Hence, the interpretations, observations and conclusions may also vary. Therefore, this method of fitting or obtaining a regression line, students, is not perfect. This is not one of the best possible line of best possible method, of obtaining regression line, or the line obtained by this method is not the best possible regression line. Then students, the method of least square. We have been repeatedly discussing the short note on method of least square. Once again, if you want, I'll summarize for 2 minutes. All of you pay attention. The first 3 points remain same. Suppose the given ordered pairs of variables x and y are x1, y1, x2, y2 up to xn, y. We take the variable x on x-axis, y on y-axis and plot the given ordered pairs. Point number 3. A line is drawn in such a way that maximum number of points are on the line, students, or nearby the line. Then the real short note starts. This method was given by Carl Friedrich Gauss. Suppose for the given values of independent variable x1, x2, x3 up to xn, the estimated values of y from regression line y cap is equal to a plus bx are y1 cap, y2 cap, y3 cap up to yn cap. Remember that line drawn on the scatter diagram is estimated by the equation y cap is equal to a plus bx. There will be some difference between estimated values of y and exact value of y. The difference between exact and estimated value of y is called error in estimation. One paragraph, 1 point given on page 119 of your short note. If a point lies above the regression line, error value is positive. Below the regression line, error value is negative. On the regression line, error value is 0. Now in this method, the values of error are small, so e square will be even smaller. When we find e square for all pairs and total it, sigma e square is very small. Therefore, this method is known as, students, the method of least squares. The formulas to obtain constants a and b are as below. First we write b because b is required to find a. b is equal to sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon sigma x minus x bar whole square, and a is equal to y bar minus bx bar. B has two names. B is called regression coefficient for the line of y on x, and b is also called slope of regression line of y on x. I told you slope is a mathematical concept not used in day-to-day life in your subject, and even not used in any sums. You have to only remember. So again, reiterating, b has two names. First is regression coefficient and other is regression line, slope of regression line of y on x. And a is called only intercept of regression line. So whenever, students, just now we did a short sum in section C, whenever you are told to find intercept of regression line, students, that means a. And all of you know the formula to find a is y bar minus bx bar. Then, students, question 4 of section D, state the utility of regression. That also we have studied. With the help of regression, first point, with the help of regression, we obtain a mathematical formula or function between independent variable x and dependent variable y. After estimating the regression line, it is used to estimate y for a given value of x. Hence, regression line has three names: estimation formula, prediction formula, and forecasting formula. Then we told, or the next point, that we can find a unit change in y for a given change in x. You know, in the interpretation of regression coefficient b, students, we have considered that when x changes by 1 unit, students, y always changes by b units. That also we have considered, and we can say that we can find appropriate change in the value of y for a given change or for a unit change in the value of x. That already, students, we have discussed. So all four short notes: cause effect relationship, independent variable, dependent variable, method of scatter diagram, method of least square, and utility of study of regression, students, we have discussed in detail. So I wish you write all these four theories once again, do the sums which I have given once with me along with the lecture, and once without looking. Try to master this, and then we will go for the further applications of another two formulas of B, students, in the next lecture. So here I conclude the lecture. Try to understand. Doubts are most welcome. You can call me and ask the doubts. Thank you, students. We conclude the lecture.